Terrifying moments. We waited for maybe a half hour to get the all clear. They were testing the atmosphere for biological, for chemical weapons. We finally got the all clear that it was safe to climb back out of those trenches. People took their masks off. It was only a couple of minutes later that we got the word and the alarm went out. Lightning, lightning, lightning. That means there's a possibility of another Scud attack.
What's going on now? What's going on now?
In fact, that's what we're hearing right now, that there's another Scud attack. Lightning, lightning, lightning. We're going to put on our gas masks, and we'll be getting in trenches very, very soon. Joe, you get a mask up.
Stay with the shot.
So we'll be.
Yeah, please, Dean, put that mask on first.
We'll be back with you, but we'll be in trenches down here. Why don't you lock it down on the trench? Lock it on the trench.
Under the truck. I'm in a secure spot under a Jeep. Right now we're just waiting for an all clear.
Like
Again, I can't hear audio from your end. Just trying to report back what we're seeing here. As I pan the camera around, people are entrenched next to the tents. They just finished building these trenches, digging these trenches out in the last hour. This is the fourth attack we've had, at least the fourth warning this morning we've had. Once earlier, as you know, they knocked a Scud out of the air. Dean Staley is right in front of me right now. I'm going to hand the mic over to him.
Yeah, Mike and Angela, I'm here now while Joe gets, make sure he has his chemical suit on. It's sort of a complicated process, and let me give you a look here, if I can, at what the suit itself looks like. Of course, I've got my body armor over the top of it, but underneath there's a jacket, just pants and a jacket, and rubber gloves, rubber boots, all of which designed to protect against a chemical attack. My understanding is that the entire suit is lined with some sort of activated charcoal that's designed to absorb chemicals or biological agents before they reach your body. So it's going to be a very hot period out here in the desert waiting to see what comes of this. I'm taking a moment here in front of the camera so that Joe Caffrey, my good friend and photojournalist, can make sure that he's got his equipment on properly. Go check with Gary, make sure you got that right. This is something, by the way, we've not had a lot of experience with, so you have to sort of bear with us, and we're checking with the troops around us to make sure all these suits look right. This is something the troops get months of training in because they understand the possibility of a biological or chemical attack.
There are now tens of thousands of American troops living in camps in the Kuwaiti desert, just like this one. Each one of these camps a tempting target for terrorists. And each evening when the sun sets on the desert, the danger here grows. Major Robert Hudson is walking the perimeter tonight, checking the lines of defense.
Major Hudson.
Advance to be recognized.
First a challenge and password.
Yeah, save the drama for your mama.
After that, sir, come on in.
Cool.
Then some time with the 19 and 20-year-olds who are guarding the camp.
Hey, you guys know why you're out here? Roger. Why is that?
Protecting what's ours, sir.
Right, the perimeter. That's right. Exactly right. Protecting what's ours. But I can't stress enough, make sure you scan over there. I mean, you're going to be able to see pretty much anybody coming from your left-hand side with that dart, the darkness. Packaging well, not locked and loaded, right? Okay, make sure you put that chin strap on, okay?
They are armed with rifles and machine guns. This is their first deployment.
It's not going to be a platoon coming across the berm. It's probably going to be one or two guys, probably with either a bomb or like an AK-47, and they come and they rip the side of the tent and they're back out.
They use night vision goggles to spot people sneaking across the desert.
It's not a high school football game anymore. It's a Super Bowl. Okay, and there are people very, very close to us right now that mean to do us harm.
More watching, more waiting, more worry, and the camp is quiet for another night. With the 101st Airborne, Dean Staley in the Kuwaiti desert. This is what gunfire sounds like in the middle of the night, people scrambling to get down. Sitting in trenches on a moonless night, not knowing who is coming, only that someone has breached the perimeter.
Automatic fire. The driver got out and ran and disappeared. The driver is unlocated at this time.
This is the car that rammed the berm that surrounds Camp Thunder.
They tried screaming at him to stop, and there's a couple of barriers. We have some dirt out there on the road, and we have a higher berm, and then we have cement barriers. He busted through all three at about 65, 70 miles an hour, and they lit him up. The driver got out. They started to shoot at him because he was running at us.
At any other time, the driver of the car might not have been taken so quickly for a terrorist, but that all changed with recent terrorist attacks.
A couple of checkpoints up north have had some suicide bombers, so we were worried that that's what it was primarily.
A security team wounded, then captured the driver, a man who, it turns out, may have hit the berm accidentally.
Wrong place, wrong time. That's what I think. I don't think he was a terrorist. I don't think he was a threat because we searched his car. There was nothing in it, and he's pretty shook up.
But the soldiers in the Persian Gulf these days are taking no chances. With the 101st Airborne, Dean Staley, Camp Thunder, Kuwait. 3rd Battalion, 50 Deuce, the Widowmakers, on the way to secure the city of Karbala. The path to Karbala leads through this garbage dump west of town. The fighting is already underway. By the end of the day, Charlie Company will have to secure this school building and the area around it.
Copy. Be advised, we're about a click and a half away from that position. How copy?
Charlie Company is taking fire. At this distance, impossible to tell enemy from curious onlooker. This is the sound of AK-47 fire. Then the American response. Under tank cover, Charlie Company reaches the school. It is abandoned.
Keep the windows in sight. Keep the windows in sight.
Fedayeen forces were here moments ago. Clothes, blankets left behind. Also here, ammunition and heavy firepower. RPG rockets and hundreds of mortars.
So what we're finding is exactly what we suspected, that the enemy is now holding up in the places that we normally say is off limits to our ROE.
Also in the school, anti-American propaganda.
I think they're poisoning the young kids' minds with this crap.
Go, 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 go.
In Karbala today, Charlie Company is winning ground. They are also winning hearts and minds.
Good. And Saddam Hussein, his dog.
With the 101st Airborne, Dean Staley, Karbala, Iraq.
Yeah, so you can write. Yeah, well, we got sent packing.
The 5th Battalion was given a new mission today. Make sure Geraldo Rivera leaves Iraq.
We're a little worn out. You know, wish we could look forward to a beer in Kuwait, but it's a beerless town, as you'll see.
See you later.
Thanks, Dan.
Good luck to you.
As they loaded his equipment, Geraldo said goodbyes. Signed autographs. He is clearly loved here and hated.
Pisses me off. I'm sorry. It does. For somebody like him to come over here and then endanger the kids and the people that are over here fighting for the United States of America is just wrong. I mean, I'm glad they're kicking him out of Iraq. I think it's a good thing. The Army reacted in the proper manner, and soon the helicopter from our battalion, 5th Battalion, 101st, will fly him back to Udara, and he can get on some other plane and go on his merry way.
Geraldo told us he expects to return to Iraq. His fans will have to stay tuned. With the 101st Airborne, Dean Staley in the Iraqi desert.
Trash!
If the Army gave promotions to the people who work hardest at the least glamorous jobs,
You got your trash?
Sergeant Ruda would be a 4-star general by now.
Can you get your trash out front? Trash! Trash!
All the jobs no one else wants.
Once you get the nut tightened, you have to open up that panel door and make sure it's on 110 slant 240 phase.
Sergeant Ruda does with style.
Unscrew this. You got to be smarter than the Paul.
What about these young guys, Serge?
I'm pain in the butt. They're good guys, though. They're good guys. The Comedy Club. Got Larry, Mo, and Curly.
Hey, sorry, what's this?
Muscle. Okay.
Trash! Who's got trash?
The new Army. So professional.
Need a hole dug, you tell him to dig, you got to come back and stop him or he'll go to China. And I've said for a long time, never go to war without a Ruda.
No job is too low.
I'm going to build a crapper, an outhouse. Very educational.
Along the way, Ruda has built friendships too.
I love the guy. I mean, he's like my best friend out here. has a heart of gold, and he's strong, and he just wants to constantly keep busy.
Hello, Chaplain. Got trash?
Hey, you guys got trash?
He does it all with a smile.
Trash! 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 Jokers over here. Jokers. Good guys, though. Good guys. They're my brothers.
I don't really do any of the great, wonderful things, but I keep them, let them do the great, wonderful things.
Which is why you never, ever go to war without a Ruta. With the 101st Airborne, Dean Staley, outside Baghdad.
Accepting God in the middle of war is it's a good time to find him, I think, because you never know what's going to happen next.
This Easter Sunday, the soldiers of the 101st Airborne made a pilgrimage.
It's one to get baptized, and then it's another thing to get baptized in Euphrates River, one of the most historical, rivers in biblical terms.
With their fellow soldiers standing guard, the only sound of farmers' irrigation pump, they washed away their sins in the Euphrates. Near the site of the biblical city of Nineveh and the ancient Tower of Babel.
That old creature's going underwater, but that which is coming up is going to be brand new. I will be changed.
I baptize you, Christopher Pillow, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
More than a dozen soldiers expressing a change.
From this point on, I try to live a different life, more towards devoted to Christ, and trying to be a better Catholic.
A fear of, letting go my sinful ways, I guess is the best way to describe it. And joy, because I was embracing something that I know I should have embraced a very long time ago.
In the middle of a combat zone, a profound calm.
I feel like I finally found peace. And it's an amazing feeling. I've been lost for a very long time. And it's good to finally feel calm.
For these soldiers of the 101st Airborne, Easter Sunday, like no other. Dean Staley along the Euphrates River near Baghdad, Iraq. This is the house Saddam Hussein was believed to be visiting the afternoon the U.S. dropped a precision-guided bomb on it. This is the massive crater that was left. And these are the curious who have come from all across Baghdad. Everyone who comes to this site is asking the same question. Was Saddam Hussein, in fact, killed in this attack? But there is one family in Baghdad that doesn't care about the answer. They live right next door.
He says, I used to love this garden of mine, the flowers, and I used to take care of them, but now nothing is left.
Nada Fadel Salam Othman grew up here in the house her father built more than 50 years ago.
My nerves, my situation after the struck, I still now am feeling terrified. I can't eat, I can't drink.
This banner lists the members of the family who died next door. Fadel, her father, and her son survived. Their home did not.
It's very dangerous.
Ayad is 20. He grew up in this house.
This is my neighbor house. This is one part of the soil, and this is a bathroom. I think it's, I don't know, very miserable. I think it's a very horrible thing. This is my house. What can I say? I can't say anything. And what can I do? Furniture, like books, like...
What he does is pick through the damage, while his grandfather, a retired engineer, tries to fix the unfixable.
I'm very sad from my grandfather, because sometimes he began to cry, because he lived and he built this house from about 50 years ago, and sometimes he began to cry.
I don't blame anybody, because this is something God wanted to happen, and it's God's will.
No one here cares whether Saddam is alive or dead. Either way, they are left to pick up the pieces. In Baghdad, Dean Staley, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
One lane! Some of these cars might have guns in them.
It takes a lot of vehicles to run a government.
If you're going to shoot somebody, if it's not life-threatening, shoot them in the leg, shoot them in the arm, shoot them somewhere it's not going to kill them.
When Saddam Hussein's regime collapsed, virtually all of the government vehicles, the ones with blue plates, disappeared into private hands.
It's critical to getting the government reestablished and legitimate government and services reestablished.
This element of the 101st Airborne has set up a checkpoint, taking the cars back one at a time.
3 July 2002.
Oh, a lot has changed since then. We're in charge now.
Some claim they're doing work for the government. Problem is, most of the ministries, from agriculture to education, have been destroyed.
He said there is no government.
Yes, I know.
Yes. So this one all.
Okay. We need to take this one. A dump truck, trash truck, a bus that was taken, and also this right here, they're saying that this ambulance was actually stolen, so we're trying to get this one too.
15th.
April 15th?
15th last month.
Of March.
Yes, March.
15 March. Okay, he can go.
ارجع جيب لنا كتاب وتعال. روح ابن عمي. هي ماكو مشكلة. No problem, ماكو مشكلة. Thank you very much. I'm sorry.
No problem, no problem. We just don't try to steal as much next time.
Trying to rebuild a government one car at a time. In Baghdad, Dean Staley, Channel 5 Eyewitness News. At night, sporadic gunfire is the norm in Baghdad. By day, keeping the peace falls to people like Sergeant Joshua Regal.
Just trying to instill a little bit of law around here to keep everybody from just shooting each other.
Regal's new job is guarding the Rafadain Bank, or what's left of it.
Since there's no really law enforcement force right now, they got us doing it.
For many in Baghdad, it is too little, too late.
There is no security, there is no electricity, even our sons cannot go to schools.
When Baghdad first fell, thieves roamed freely, looting, then burning buildings. They destroyed the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Industry. The only exception, the Ministry of Oil, protected from the very beginning by American troops. It was not looted, not burned, not a single window broken, a fact that among the Iraqi people has not gone unnoticed.
U.S. Army only protected this ministry while the other ministries were burned, stolen and destroyed. That is because America keen mostly for oil only.
In Baghdad these days, that is just one of a growing list of complaints.
They sent us up to win the war, and I mean we did that, and now we're just trying to do as much as we can to help the people, but it just seems like they keep wanting more and more. We can only do so much, we're only so big of a force.
In Baghdad, Dean Staley, Channel 5 Eyewitness News. This is what freedom sounds like in Iraq. Shia Muslims honoring the Prophet Hussein. A month ago, they would have been thrown in jail for such a gathering. This is what freedom looks like. People snatching up once illegal satellite dishes. Vendors renting time on satellite phones.
The people who come and use these telephones are ordinary Iraqi families, and they use the telephone to call their relatives, their sons, their friends all around the world, because this telephone was not available in the past.
The new freedoms here in Iraq have not come without a cost. Virtually every aspect of daily life here is more difficult today than it was before the fall of the regime. Just ask Amjad Hial and his friends. Before the war, he worked in a factory. Now he's forced to scavenge aluminum from what's left of the Ministry of Agriculture.
It is so dangerous, but what can we do? There is no work, there is no money, and we have to live.
The few who are working are still waiting to be paid.
We are barely eating, we don't have enough money, and the month is over, and our money is going to be spent all over.
With no police force, many here feel less safe than they did under Saddam's regime.
The most important thing that we want is secure, and we want to feel secure.
A free Iraq is moving forward toward an uncertain future. In Baghdad, Dean Staley, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.